Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. This is a very late night, or shall we say early morning recording. Um, my God, my schedule is crazy. Anyways, again, welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome. Hope you've had a wonderful week so far. I know it's just started. I mean, it's early morning Wednesday, so hope you've had a fantastic week, the last few days. But anyway, what is going on in our world, our Sussex world, our royal Sussex world? Royal Sussex, Baron. But what is going on in our world? Well, our faves are just, under a tree. Doing whatever they're doing in Montecito. That's where we like to imagine them are hanging out over there doing whatever they're doing with Archwell, whether it's Archwell Foundation or Archwell Audio or Archwell Production, whatever it is they're doing, let them just do that. We have not heard from them. It's very funny because, again, Shutter Island is going crazy. They're a little bit fuddled, like, why aren't they responding? Why aren't they RSVPing? They're supposed to want to be here. They're supposed to want to come to, and they're supposed to want royalty for their brand. They're supposed to want the royal family. They're supposed to be crying about not being on the balcony, you know they're supposed to come so we can pretend we're snobbing them and all the nonsense that the royal family tend to do all the time with their press. And so Harry and Meghan have been radio silent. They have not spoken about the coronation. They have not RSVP'd, at least not publicly. And if they have, Buckingham Palace certainly isn't saying anything. But we have not heard anything from the Sussexes, and I really love that. I love them to not say a thing. I love the radio silence. And so my thing is, I hope they never respond. I hope they do not attend. I hope, because I don't think, as from what we have seen, nobody in the royal family has, Harry was very specific about what needs to happen for him, one, to be at that coronation, and for his relationship with his family. Talked about them having to sit down and have a proper conversation and need to apologize to Meghan for what they did. As far as we know, none of that has happened. So I hope, Harry and Meghan stick to their guns and be like, look, if this is what you're doing, we want no part of you. We want no part of that mess, along with the fact that they, asked them to vacate Frogmore, their home that they spent money to renovate, which I hope they got their money back. So I just hope they just completely be uncompromising in their stance about what needs to happen, and don't back down. And so I hope that's where they are. So anyways, we haven't heard anything from them, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So there you go. But I saw these pictures today and I was like, oh, because again, I was watching Harry and Meghan docuseries. And so I was just like, oh, that wonderful wedding. So that, if you don't know, this is Harry and Meghan's wedding reception, and they are having fun dancing. And so it's just wonderful. If you haven't seen the docu-series, jump onto Netflix and watch it. It's awesome. Anyways, what else is going on with our faves? Oh, this is so wonderful. The city of Uvalde, Texas. Um, they, they Harry and Meghan, Archwell, teamed up with Kaboom to build this playground in Uvalde, Texas. Now that all the, with what happened with the Uvalde and all the press, the press leaving, they were 24/7 in Uvalde after what happened with the shooting, and now the press has gone home, all the media has gone home, but two organizations have not gone home and have not left the people of Uvalde. They are Harry and Meghan's foundation, Archwell, and Kaboom. They have teamed up again, and they have created this beautiful playground for the people of Uvalde, the community of Uvalde. And so so Uvalde, Miss Gloria Resma, who is a city employee, she at the top, the photo at the top is part of a video she made to say thank you to Kaboom and thank you to Archwell for creating this park, this community park for the kids. And she talked about, what it means to the community, how important it is to the community to have this park, and how the kids and the young people in the community came together and they told Kaboom and Archwell exactly what they wanted and how they wanted and the kind of things that they wanted in their park. And they got it made exactly the way they wanted. And she talked about on any given day, or how many people from the community would just come over and sit in the park, and kids and adults. And so it's just wonderful. So this was a wonderful opportunity for her to say thank you to Archwell and Kaboom. And so I'm going to move my a little banner and also a little brand over there. So if you're new here and you have not subscribed to us, go ahead and click the at the bottom of this video, go and click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video, and also like and share the video, and if you're able to join. So we'll come back to that in the end. Yeah, let's just hide this for a bit and we will come back to that in the end. Before we get to that, let's see. It's really weird that my large, enlarging thing is not working very well. Who knows why? I don't know why this isn't working. Anyways, so actually, let's move the brand so that I can read that as well at the top. But this is what it says. It says, Kaboom first partnered with the City of Uvalde and Archwell Foundation to support community healing and unity by creating a play space at De Leon Park. Here's an update on how the community is enjoying the new play space from community member and City of Uvalde employee Gloria Resma. And also, so again, it's a video. I'm going to put a link to the video. And this was on their Instagram page. So I'm going to put the link to the video so you can watch the video. And also, it talks about it, help support Kaboom. So if you're interested in supporting the play space in any way, or the different play spaces that they're building around the country, I think they're building in different communities. If you'd like to support, definitely, I'm going to put the link there too, if you're able to. If you can't, don't worry about it. But if you'd like to support and, interested in supporting them as they build play space, definitely go ahead and do that. So absolutely wonderful for the city of Uvalde, Texas. What else is happening? This. So it's a little bit, different, a more serious note. One of the things that happened when Spare came out, and we remember so well, even before, what was it, 10 days at least before it dropped, that the book was leaked, and it was leaked in Spanish, and then the British press got a hold of it and completely manipulated and Harry's words, and they just twisted his words and just really lied about what was in the book, and completely misinformed people about what was in the book. And especially gross was what they did with Harry talking about his kill count from Afghanistan. And they just completely manipulated his words in such a way where it literally put his life at risk. And then, and to the point where they took it to such a level where reporters in the British press, like Chris Shipp, were tweeting and siding with the Taliban against Harry. And it was the most despicable display I have ever seen in my entire life. I didn't even know that was possible. And they did. They were siding with the Taliban in attacking Harry. And one of the things that, to hear reporters behave like it's the first time they've ever heard of, Harry talking about, killing Taliban. It's the first time they've, the way how they were behaving. It was like it was a new teaching. They had never heard this before. Although back in what I think it was 2013, this was front page news. They all had front page news about Harry killed Taliban. But when they were reporting it and making money off of their front pages, Harry was a hero. He was a hero. But the moment Harry decided to tell his own story and speak out and correct some of their narrative, all of a sudden, he is the bad guy. The Taliban is the good guy. And it was just the most deplorable display that I have ever witnessed by reporters, where they literally sided with the enemy of the country who killed British soldiers, yet they sided with them. And honestly, I have to say nobody in the British press, in the British military, came and defended Harry. No one's really stood up for him, and which has always bothered me. The most some of them would do would be, they wouldn't, they didn't get into saying anything negative, but they didn't really stand up for him. Other than actually one guy, I think he is a podcast guy with Mike, whatever his name, Zara's husband. I think his name is something Dave Haskell or something. He was the only one who was like, Harry has a right to say what he needs to say, And even him, at first, he was siding with William and then turned, and I think, I don't know if it was cloud chasing or whatever. But to see the people in the military not really standing up and be like, no, he has a right to say what he needs to say, that has always bothered me. But one of the things that happened is, before I get to this is, going back to looking at and seeing what Harry says about his experience in Afghanistan is so important, because this is what the British media completely manipulated and completely twisted and were writing and publishing articles claiming that Harry was boasting about his kill count. And this is what Harry, going back, and we're going to read what Harry says, and I know this is a little bit lengthy, but important. Afghanistan was a war of mistakes, a war of enormous collateral damage, thousands of innocents killed and maimed, and always haunted us. So my goal from the day I arrived was to never go to bed doubting that I had done the right thing, that my targets had been correct, that I was firing on Taliban and only Taliban, no civilians nearby. I wanted to return to Britain with my limbs, but more, I wanted to go home with my conscience intact, which meant being aware of what I was doing and why I was doing it at all times. Most soldiers can't tell you precisely how much death is on their ledger. In battle conditions, there's often a great deal of indiscriminate firing. But in the age of Apaches and laptops, everything I did in the course of 2 combat tours was recorded and time-stamped. I could always say precisely how many enemies combatant I'd killed. I felt it vital never to shy away from that number. Among the many things I learned in the Army, accountability was near the top of the list. So my number, 25. It wasn't a number that gave me any satisfaction, but neither was it a number that made me feel ashamed. Naturally, I'd preferred not to have had that number on my military CV, on my mind. But by the same token, I'd prefer to live in a world in which there was no Taliban, a world without war, even for an occasional practitioner of magical thinking like me. However, some realities just can't be changed. While in the heat of the fog of combat, I did think I didn't think about those 25 as people. I can't kill people. You can't kill people if you think of them as people. You can't really harm people if you think of them as people. They were chess pieces removed from the board, bads taken away before they could kill goods. I'd been trained to otherize them, trained well. On some levels, I recognize this learned detachment as problematic, but I also saw it as an unavoidable part of soldiering, another reality that couldn't be changed. And again, if you've read Spare, you understand when none of this is pretty. War isn't pretty. It is what it is. It isn't pretty. And this is his honesty. And nowhere in there is he boasting about, killing 25 people. Like he said, that in the heat of battle, you don't think of them as people because you can't kill people, you can't harm people. You don't think of them as people. They've taught him how to other people, which is what happened there. And he's not boasting. He's just saying, this is what it is. War it was a war of mistakes and a lot of collateral damage, and again, to see how the British press and reporters, and sometimes we say the British press and it's just this thing, but men and women, reporters choosing to lie, to manipulate, to twist his words, to put his life and his family's life in danger because of this. When back in 2013, their front pages, he was a hero, And so that brings me to this article. And I'm telling you, I think one of our squaddies, KC Correct, found this. And it was the most amazing thing. And again, I always talk about squaddies that are just like, better than the FBI. And the KCC Correct, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, posted this today, at least yesterday, on Twitter. And apparently one of those reporters who have been attacking Harry for writing his book from day one, when he learned that Harry was writing it was Robert Jobson. And apparently back in 2008, I think Harry came home from Afghanistan. I think it was in like March 2008. By October 2008, Robert Jobson wrote this book. And this book, it's called The True Story of Prince Harry's Heroism in Afghanistan. Harry's War by Robert Jobson. That's right, heroism. And this is what the book says, the excerpt from the book. On February 28, 2008, to the great international surprise, the British Ministry of Defense released a statement acknowledging that Prince Harry, son of the late Princess Diana and third in line to the British throne, had secretly been deployed to Afghanistan. Subsequent reports revealed that the prince had killed up to 30 Taliban insurgents in directing at least 3 airstrikes, and that he had helped the Gurkha troop repel a ground attack of Taliban insurgents using a machine gun. On February 29, Prince Harry was withdrawn from the country with the distinction via a covert SAS deployment. This is an amazing story of the first British royal to serve in his country in 25 years and his heroic weeks of combat. That's right. Heroism. His heroic weeks. He talks about, a subsequent report revealed that Harry killed up to 30 Taliban insurgents. All of this was reported as, wow, brave Harry, brave soldier Harry. This is Robert Jobson, the same Robert Jobson, who from the moment he heard Harry was writing a book, he is everything he has thrown at Harry, including threatening Harry. for writing a book. And again, here is Robert Jobson writing the same thing in October of 20. This book was published in October of 2008, writing about a kill count. And so when Harry writes his book and corrects this lie by Robert Jobson, all of a sudden they're attacking Harry as if they've never heard this before, that they've never heard this story about Harry, Harry's time and what happened in Afghanistan. And yet here in 2008, they're writing about it. Robert Jobson's writing about it. 2013, front pages of the British press with Harry and the Taliban, and Harry killed the Taliban, and all of a sudden he was a hero then. And you know why he was a hero to them? Because they were making money off of him. All of these headlines, all of these books, they were making money. And this is the thing about why they've been attacking Harry with this fake outrage. None of this is true outrage. It's just fake. And the reason they were attacking him is because they could not monetize him. They could not make money off of him anymore. And that's why they have been attacking him. The same Robert Jobson, he has a book coming out about Charles. And all of the things that he has, I've seen, screenshots of some of the excerpts of it, is all about attacking Harry. All about, I need to make money and I want to make money off of him. You would never believe this book is about Charles because nothing in the excerpts is about Charles. Not, or at least 1% is probably about Charles. The rest of it is about Harry, attacking him. And because Robert Jobson and his ilks and the rest of the British press, they want the headlines. They want the exclusives because that is how they make money. So they tried to destroy Spare in every which way so that Harry would not make money off of his own story. And thank goodness people haven't believed them. People have not, followed along with the British press. And Spare is still number one in the UK and Canada and stuff. The audio is definitely still number one, around. But it's the despicable behavior for me is the hypocrisy of the British press. The utter hypocrisy that they would write these things, years ago. And then in 2013, 2023, pretend like they've never heard it before. It's unbelievable. And you see that I talk about Robert Jobson. This man is a lying double tongue. I know some people like to say, oh, he's esteemed and renowned writer, whatever. I'm like, no, this guy is a lying double down hack. He's a hack. I think in Spare, Harry referred to him as Pa's hack biographer, which is exactly what he is. He's a hack. Despicable in so many ways. Again, here he's talking about Harry killed up to 30, and Harry's like, no, actually, we have exactly what, the kill count. And it was 25, not 30. And so it just, just like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. And I, tomorrow I'll have it on the other podcast, but Royal Suda pulled up all of these, a couple of other things where Spare corrected, the narratives that was put out there. Robert Lacey's book, we've talked about Robert Lacey's book before in this podcast, how when he updated his book, William had one of his friends brief Robert Lacey. And one of the things he briefed Robert Lacey was on his fight with Harry. And one of the things he talked about Harry, having a bad temper and all of that stuff. But what they left out of that story in Robert Lacey's book was the fact that he attacked Harry. And in Spare, Harry addressed it. And people have the nerve to be like, oh, William can never trust Harry again. And it's like, no, William told that story in 2021. He told that to Robert Lacey in 2021. And Harry corrected it in 2023. So the idea that they can't trust Harry and all of that nonsense is like, no, spares about talking about what you all already put out there. All of these things are already out there. And so it's just, I unbelievable. Anyway, moving completely on, different topic. I saw this and I had to laugh. The National, this is a Scottish newspaper, says Glasgow shop boycotts book series after King Charles edition. So um, this author, she writes that she wrote a series of books that it's like Little People Big Dreams, that's what it's called. And it's about kids who grew up to be to do and or achieve greatness. And so it's a book about different people in history. And so kids love that. They love to see their little kid had a big dream, and they grow up to be to accomplish their dream and all of that stuff. So the author decided to do one on King Charles. And so everybody is like, what? And so the bookstore, so this is what it says: a bookshop in Glasgow is refusing to stock books from the popular children's series after the publisher decided to include King Charles as an inspirational historical figure. I'm like, I don't even know how you come up with King Charles as an inspirational historical figure, but somehow she did. It says the Little People Big Dream series has previously depicted the lives of notable scientists, artists, political figures such as Stephen Hawking, Alan Turing, Frida Kahlo, and Emmeline Parkhurst. Author and creator of the series, Maria Isabel Sanchez Vergara, states that on her website that the success of the series relies on the fact that children love to read stories of other children achieving great things. And so was a little bit like, so how does exactly King Charles fall in there again? Because as we know, King Charles becoming king, he didn't achieve anything. He didn't do anything to achieve that other than being born and just being born first. He had nothing to do with being born first to get that. So exactly what did he achieve? I'm not saying Prince Charles hasn't done things in his life, I mean, if they focus on, say, his charity work and like the Princess Trust and stuff, even though it is definitely what is that word? It's definitely scammy in a lot of ways. The Princess Trust, um, there's just a lot of questionable financial dealings with the Princess Trust. But there are some things that he did that were good with the Princess Trust, in that helping inner city kids, for example, to go follow their dreams and doing stuff like that. So it has done some good in that. But if the book is about Prince Charles as a little boy becoming king, well, there is no achievement in that. There's absolutely no, he didn't do anything to earn that, other than being born and being born first. That's it. And he had nothing to do with that. you know, he just came out and there it was, So I don't know. I don't even know how you begin to come up with Prince Charles for especially something where it's like children love to read stories about children achieving great things. And I'm like, he didn't achieve anything. He just, was born and got it when his mother died. I mean, I don't want to be morbid, but gosh, that's exactly what happened. So this Glasgow bookstore is like, no, we're not stocking any of it. So there, because people are like, when you put that in, say like Rosa Parks, when you put King Charles next to like Rosa Parks and others, you're like, that's a little lacking, like seriously lacking in achievements in this way. So, but anyways, Scotland is not feeling Charles in more ways than one. Also, let's see what else is happening. Oh gosh, yes. The Guardian has been going after the royal family. They have been exposing and exposing and exposing, whether it's their financial dealings with or with slavery, with everything. They are just they have, I mean, I'm telling you, they have been putting it out there for the last few days, tons of articles about, especially their finances, which is what the royal family, they are desperate to hide from people. They don't want anyone to know how rich they are so they can keep taking taxpayer money. And so the Guardian has been exposing a lot of this. And one of the things they did was to compare the Windsors, the royal family, with the Borbones, which is the Spanish uh, royal family. They're related in some way. I mean, so they're very close. And also to other monarchies in Europe, and seeing like how much money, like the difference in money, that especially tax, public funding or tax payer money that is being given to each of these monarchies. So I pulled in three of them. It says the Guardian says the Windsors versus the Bourbons compare the public pay of European royal families, and there are about seven of them. I just did three. So UK with obviously the Windsors, family name, house name Windsors, monarch King Charles III, approximate public funding 86 million to 127 million pounds. And again, this is not including security. So just for other stuff, one of the things I was thinking about recently, I'm like, they must have about three different books or more that of how they do the money. It's like the public, what you need to know, and then the other books. But yeah, their public funding is 86 million to 127 million. And it says the most famous of the Europe grand hereditary families, and probably the richest and most powerful too, many Britons wrongly assume their monarch fulfills purely ceremonial roles, and and has no real power. However, an archaic procedure known as consent allows the monarch or heir, allows the monarch or heir to secretly vet laws before they are approved by the elected member of parliament. It has once It was once used by the Queen to persuade ministers to change the law to conceal her embarrassing private wealth from the public. Yeah, and we talk about this a lot. Like so many people just have this misguided and just lying notion that the royal family have no power, or the monarch has no power. And it's just like, no, the consent is a huge power. The fact that they can lobby parliament before, it's approved by elected officials, tell you the kind of power that they have. They can withhold consent on a bill if it doesn't please them, or if they stand to lose from that bill. They would withhold consent um, from that bill until they get what they want. They do it all the time, and including the race laws that they lobbied. So the Queen lobbied, so she didn't have to she didn't have to obey she didn't have to obey the race laws. I mean, she held that up until she got an exemption. So along with 86 to 127 million, they have a lot of clout. They have a lot of power. And it's unbelievable that that is the case. So, anyway, moving on from their money, we see, these are the other two that I looked at, Spain and Denmark. The Spain family, the Bourbones or Bourbons, the monarchy, King Philippe the Sixth, the approximate public funding is only 7.4 million. The Windsors have 86 to 127 million. The Spanish royal family, Their public funding is £7.4 million. Seeking to present a new era of transparency, Juan Carlos' son, King Philippe VI, made public his personal assets of £2 million, 200 €2 million, or 2.28 yeah, or 2.28 pounds. He renounced his personal inheritance from his father in 2020, and removed him from the royal family's payroll. From the public grant, Philippe received 269,296 or 214 pounds in the annual personal allowance, while his wife Queen Letizia gets 148,105 euros, or £129,911. His mother, one colleague's estranged wife, Sophia, received an annual stipend of 121,186 euros, or 106,299 pounds. Spanish royals pay taxes on their income. So again, they're only getting 7.4 million. They are paying taxes on their income. So they're not leaving the taxpayers with that burden. They are paying their taxes. And then compare that, all those two with Denmark. Denmark family, the Glucksberg, we remember Denmark, and the Ice Queen Margaret, who stripped her grandchildren of their titles. It says Queen Marguerite, yeah, the approximate public funding is £14 million. Queen Marguerite the second, 82, Europe's longest serving monarch, received receives 91.1 million kroner a year, which is 10.7 million pounds in civil list payments. Separately, Frederick, the heir, receives 22,434 pound euro. So I'm sorry, 22,434 876 kroner, which is equivalent to 2.6 million pounds a year. 10% of which goes to his wife, Frederick's younger brother, Prince Joachim, the sixth in line to the throne, gets 3,000 965,400 kroners, or 467,045 a year. All the money is tax-free. So they are getting 14 million pounds, and it's tax-free, as opposed to the Spanish, what they're getting, and they have to pay income. And actually, the second largest amount what a family receiving public funding is actually the Dutch family, from the Netherlands. They receive 44 million of public funding. And so the difference between all of those monarchies and the British one is like, why do they need so much money? Why are they being paid so much money? And again, tax free, other than when Charles decided to do his circular tax, where he pays, back then it was the Duchy of Cornwall. Now he has the Duchy of Lancaster. Is he going to do the same thing, where he pays taxes to the duchy, and then he's the one who earns the money from the duchy? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that they do that. It's absolutely crazy that they are getting all that money. And you look at what their accomplishments, and any like tangible things that they do, and intangible results, and there is very, very little. There's little to none. So why are they being paid 87 million pounds, 87 to 127 million pounds? Why? They don't deserve it. So, anyways, that is a little bit about just the comparison between The Windsor's 87 to 127 million public money. Spain only gets 7.4 million pounds from public money, and Denmark is 14 million pounds. See the big difference? Huge, huge, huge difference. So, anyways, moving on. Talk about let them eat cake. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, if I am in a country that is struggling financially and have no, people are literally dying because they can't heat their homes and all of that stuff, would these be the mode of transportation I would want to be putting out in the streets of London when I know that there are people starving in my community, in my country? Is this the way you would want to go for a coronation that nobody asked for again? So that the Times wrote this article. It says, "Who is paying for the coronation?" And it goes on to say, as a state occasion, the British government will pay for the coronation with public money. That's right. Public money they decide on invitations and use the confluence of the global leaders to improve diplomatic relations. It has been suggested that the event will be been suggested that the event will cost more than £100 million. And it's just like, what? You know, it's like they are paying for the coronation with public money. And that, not only you hearing that it's public money, but then you realize that it has been suggested that the event will cost more than £100 million. It is sick. This is really sick. This is absolutely sick. Look at what they're traveling in. It's just they were like, somebody was like, many people are not interested in the coronation. They're not interested in not going to be. I'm like, no, they're going to go. British people love spectacle. They will be there. They will be there cheering him on. So, but I mean, again, look at these carriages. Why would you want to be in one of those things when your subjects are dying, when your subjects can't heat their home, they can't feed their kids, all of these things? Why is this, why is this the mode of transportation that he's taking? Unbelievable. Anyways, yeah, this is the article I was talking about. Apathy reigns after 16,000 Jubilee parties, only 245 marks the coronation. While the tally of events registered on the official website is low, huge crowds are expected in London on May 6th. Again, I believe they're gonna have a good crowd. I totally believe that, even though people are not keen on these survey things, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there jumping up, feting, because it's again holiday. So, but it just. Yeah, I don't know anybody. Again, we saw Max Foster almost boy himself to tears the other day. They're not all that excited about this. They're not. This is not something that the British people are like, yeah, they're just not. But with that, there's enough, royalists to come out and cheer on, which I think is exactly going to happen. And I hope, it just. Amazing. Anyways, moving on. I don't want to talk about Charles and his coronation anymore. But again, they're going to be protests. The Republic group, they are promoting their protests. So they're going to be, curbed to one side. They're in their little spot, never to leave their little spot while they are protesting. And so, again, they are advertising for more and more people to come out to make it their biggest protest ever. So, who knows? Hopefully people go out and protest, So, anyways, moving on to more pleasant things. Invictus, Australia. And I'm telling you, Prince Harry, it just, his work with Better Up is just so many people are benefiting from it. And so and I love how, again, they build communities like Invictus Games and Better Up. And so Invictus Australia posted this. It says, we at Invictus are pleased to offer wounded, injured, and ill veterans, including friends and family, free access to coaching services from Better up to 6 months. And there's the link to register, and so I'm going to put the link in the show notes as well. But it is just so great, that it's going around. It's all of these vets are going to get free training, free coaching actually from Better Up, and that is because of Prince Harry's link to Better Up. So it is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And again, the link would be in the show notes. And for no reason at all, no reason at all, I just love this photo. I absolutely remember this was during the Invictus Games in Australia, and Harry and Meghan are on that what looks like a plastic boat. I don't know, it's probably not plastic, but it totally looks plastic. Anyway, so I just love it with the big Invictus flying there, and so. Absolutely. I mean, we remember that trip to Australia. Absolutely amazing. So I, it's whenever I see this picture, I'm also too. It's like Meghan is pregnant, and that guy when you saw the video, this is also I think in the same boat where this guy on one of the other boats came and give Meghan this big bear hug, and it's like, oh my gosh. But no, I absolutely, absolutely love this. So, and again, for no reason, I just love the picture and I just wanted to have it there. So yes, so that's it, guys. That I hope this all made sense. Again, I'm recording. It is like 2:16 a.m. as I'm recording this. Hopefully, it all makes sense. Anyways, thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church, Nelly, Karen, and Cookies and Cream, just for all the incredible work that you do for the channel. I mean, it is just amazing. I am just so grateful for what you've done, what you guys do every single time we have a live chat. I mean, keeping our space safe and fun, and I appreciate it so much. I'm going to put back up my banner again. If you are on here, oops, sorry. There we go. I'm not sure why I put that there. It's like example of a banner. Click the banner to show it's on screen. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. That's why I'm like going crazy. Anyways, our banner is there. Subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel. Right at the bottom of this video, you'll see the subscribe button, and also go ahead and click the notification bell that's right there, and you will be notified when we drop a video. Also, please share this video. Please go ahead and like it and share it, and help us build a bigger community. And if you're able, join the 2 Cents Crew. That would be fantastic, where you support the channel on a monthly basis. So thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed, and hopefully we'll get more. Thank you to our wonderful 2 Cents Crew who support the channel financially on a monthly basis. I appreciate each and every one of you for your incredible, incredible support. And thank you to our Gold Star supporters who support in the chat. They usually would get a super thanks, super stickers, or they would just do a straight donation. So thank you all so much for everything that you've been doing for the channel. I appreciate it. And also, if you are interested in other ways you can support the channel, if you are interested, we do have merchandise. So please, definitely, the link is in the show notes. Jump down there and get some Facts and 2 Cents merch. That would be awesome as well. So thank you to all of you who have already done that. So thank you guys so much. Again, I hope this all makes sense. This is what happens when you try to record late. But anyways, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Have a fun day. fabulous is what I want to say. Have a fabulous day. Bye.